YouTube and Facebook. Real Talk with Kike, where discussions are hot and real.
Once again, we say congratulations, Dr. Reuben Abati. Congratulations. Let's clap for him again, please. But here, we have our Baba. Call him father of the nation. Nobody's going to question that. Former president, Chief Okikiola Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR, is seated here. We also have a former president, a peace-loving president of this nation. He did well. That's why he's able to walk around with his head held high. President, good luck. Ebele Jonathan. In our midst, we have the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Hamzat. Please, a big round of applause for him, please. Thank you, sir, for showing up. In our midst, we have former governors. Two of them are senators, even if one is a senator labor leader. Please, let's acknowledge a two-term governor of Ogun State, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Otumba Benga Daniel. And in his usual NLC style, this senator, governor, ex-governor, two-term governor, Edo State, sir, comrade, let me add that, Adams Oshiomele is here with us. We have quite a number of big names in-house. We'll take a few of these names and we will be acknowledging as our time goes on. Please, in no particular order, we have a 76-year-old damsel. They call her Dame. We call her Dame, and we know she is Dame. Please join me as I welcome Dame Maiden Ibro. She is here with us. Here with us, we've got Chief Felix Fagbo-Ungbe. Let's clap for him, please. Please join me as I welcome EFCC's chairman, Ola Olukoyede. Please join me as I welcome Kábíyèsí Ọba Adédọ̀tun Aremu Gbádébọ̀ Òkúkẹ́nù the fourth. Ẹ bá mi ṣe Kábíyèsí o. Kábíyèsí, the Olota of Ota, Ọba Professor Adeyemi Abdulkabir Ọba Lanlege. Kábíyèsí Onítẹ̀lé of Ìtẹ̀lé Ọ̀tà is also here. Ọba Demola Asorota Eletu. Ẹ bá mi ṣe Kábíyèsí. Prince Julius Adelusi is here with us. The highly respected Bishop Hassan Kuka. At 76, he could pass for a 56-year-old man. Chief Unduka Obegbina is also here with us. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The media guru is here with us. Permit me to acknowledge the presence of Bob D. Dele Momodu. He's here with us. Please join me as I acknowledge the presence of Mr. Biodun Shobanjo. Gentleman par excellence. And please let's join as I acknowledge Dr. Reuben Abati. Reuben has at his side a perfect match. And I'm going to use his words to describe her. We're talking about a package of intelligence, value, financial acumen, purpose, wisdom, class, ambition, and so much more. And I'm talking real to Kike. Kike Lomo. Yes. Atanda-Owo Abati. Let's clap for her, please.
True friendship, it lasts forever. True friendship, a gift we share together. No matter where you are, we're there together. Sharing moments, happiness is when we are together.
Multina, share happiness.
Why is a seat at this table so special? Culinary luxury at its finest. The peak of private dining. A rare fusion of flavors coming together to create one-of-a-kind masterpieces never made before. Be the ultimate host at Echo Hotels. Exclusive new Oak Table.
It's our honor to invite a man whose leadership story is woven into Nigeria's destiny, a statesman, a reformer, a patriot. Please join us as we welcome His Excellency, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, to deliver the chairman's welcome address.
Reuben, I come here to felicitate with you. 70 years in Obiok. I did not know you at school, as Shodimu knew you at school. I came to know you about 30 years ago, you remember, with you and your friend, Ayo Adonewale. Over that period, you have made progress. As a journalist, as a TV presenter, as a commentator, as a community leader, as a political aide, even as a politician. And today, not just as a writer, but 3 books at the same time. So you have become a great author as well. I will emphasize you have made progress. And you know, and you remember, when our paths first crossed, as a young man, you have the young man's ambition. A house over your head, a car for you to move around with. All that by now you have achieved. So you have made progress. One thing that I did not quite agree with you, if you remember, was in your struggling to make progress. You did not count much on what I regard as essential attributes of life for success and for nation building. And I'm happy that now that you have seen it all, those essential attributes are as important to you today as they were to me in those days and as they are to me today. I am happy that in my lifetime, I can say I have a son in Reuben Abati. Who has matured, who has understood, who has progressed, and who is now on the path of success. And I think that is a lesson that I believe you are teaching all of us here. And I believe lesson that you should carry on for the rest of your life. And I want to say again, there's difference between progress and success. You've made progress. Now you have to make success. And may God continue to help you to make success. Happy birthday and many happy birthdays.
Up next on our program is a special documentary. We would like to implore you to turn your attention to the multimedia screen.
Celebrating Reuben Abati at 60. The voice, the vision, the virtues of a man engraved. He wears intellect like a crown, humility like a cloak, and love like a compass, forever guided, forever grounded. Born in Abeokuta on November 7, 1965, Reuben Abati is a name that has risen like the morning sun, steady, bright, inevitable, scholar, writer, thinker, commentator, husband, father, a man whose words have carried weight and whose life has carried meaning. He graduated with first-class honors in theater arts from the University of Calabar, bagging the Vice Chancellor's Prize. At just 24, he earned a PhD in dramatic literature theory and criticism from the University of Ibadan in 1990, law at Lagos State University in 1999, leadership training at Oxford in 2015, professional journalism in Maryland from 1996 to 1997. He also won the Cecil King Memorial Prize for print journalism in 1998. The Diamond Award for Media Excellence for Informed Commentary in 1998, the Fletcher Challenge Commonwealth Prize for Opinion Writing in the year 2000. The mind did not rest. Each degree, each training, a staircase higher into purpose. From soft sell pages of hints and hearts to the weighty editorials of The Guardian, Abati danced across genres like a man fluent in every tongue. He became a foxtrot professional of the pen, one moment teasing romance readers, the next firing thunder against power. His words did not merely report, they sculpted opinion, challenged authority, unsettled comfort. In 2011 to 2015, Reuben crossed the Rubicon from critic to insider, becoming special advisor on media and publicity to President Goodluck Jonathan. It was a baptism of fire. The critic turned spokesman, the poet turned shield. When that chapter closed, he returned not silenced, but sharpened to television and print. Today, as anchor of the morning show on Arise TV, his voice is law and laughter, wisdom and wit, sarcasm and substance. Reuben Abati, alongside peer Dele Momodu, emerged as ideological and intellectual captains on the Lagos popular culture scene, especially the Fuji and Juju pop corridors. Thus, they earned the bragging rights as the abstract thinkers that conjured the emergence of Fuji musicians like Shina Peters into national limelight, while Dele Momodu, Bob D, went ahead to float the spectacular celebrity magazine Ovation. Reuben Abati moved to Guardian newspapers to begin a full-time journalism career under the tutelage of watchful eyes as Olatunji Dare, a grandfather of opinion writing in Nigeria. While Momodu took Ovation Global, Abati sharpened his Guardian sword, writing, not forgetting Kayode Ajala, who branched into Hot Magazine. The pop culture of Lagos knew him. The intellectual salons respected him. The streets, yes, the streets, they felt him. But for all his laurels, Reuben Abati's true crown is at home. A father whose children he educated with the finest tools of learning in top schools across the world. A man who insists that family is first, always. And then came Kike, the woman they fondly call his Oyibo wife. modern, dazzling, and grounding. Kike did not just marry Reuben, she remodeled him. As they say, the voices around says she polished the public giant into a man renewed in style, softened in heart, sharpened in purpose. Ask him, and he will tell you plainly, Kike completes me. She is his balance, his laughter, his debate partner, his ride or die. On air, he may spar with politicians, but at home, it's Kike's smile that wins the argument. It is said that a man is not truly great until his home applauds him. In Kike, Abati found not just applause, but standing ovation. Giant, yet modest to a fault. He calls stars by their titles, never by name. Shina Peters to him is always megastar. He wears criticism like a badge and controversy like cologne. From journalism prizes to Commonwealth honors, his shelf is heavy, but his humor keeps him light. He is a man who can thunder on national issues, yet joke about jollof rice the next minute. A lion in the public square, a lamb in his living room. That is the paradox. That is the poetry. That is the man, Reuben Abati. At 60, Reuben Abati remains unfinished, a living legacy, a restless mind, a public conscience, a man of voice, vision, and veracity. A man modernized by love, stabilized by family, immortalized by words. The scholar remains a student, the journalist remains a questionnaire, the husband remains completed by Kike. Reuben Abati, the voice that will not fade, the mind that will not tire, the heart that is forever home. Reuben Abati, not merely a man of his time, but a mind for all seasons, an enigma whose words echo, whose love steadies, and whose story is still being written.
Let's give it to him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was Reuben Nishoki. Beautiful piece. Talking about the enigma, Reuben Abati. Let's clap for him one more time. But jokes apart, Amos Aleko, you've remodeled on Megba. But she's done a wonderful job, please. Let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. Kikelomo Abati. Thank you so much. Beautiful job. It's been carefully chosen. I am not in the least surprised that is the man to deliver the keynote speech. Please join me as I welcome Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka.
The title of my keynote is Nigeria, Time to Reload. Because despite the accomplishment of Dr. Abati, when I checked the records, I discovered that actually people like him and a lot of other people in the media, somehow, and please don't get me wrong, the standards are falling, not due to lack of intellect, but due to age. Because Dr. Abati's employer today, the debonair Duke, who is sitting here, started a newspaper at the age of 24. I remember with my friend Sonola Olumese as the editor. Chris Okole started fantastic, one of the most memorable magazines. Started at the age of 26. Peter Nahoro editing Daily Times. Matthew Mbondoka, a lot of other people and their great achievement. The challenge therefore is what happened, as somebody will say, on the road to heaven. And how have we ended up where we are now in Nigeria? Many of you are familiar with the poem by Robert Frost about the road not taken. It is evident that because we are taking so long to get to our destination, and because the goalposts are always constantly seemingly shifting, we must be asking ourselves, what is happening with map reading?
Why have we ended up with a nation of such disrupted dreams? I look back at Nigeria. The other day I was reflecting. I said, if somebody wants to visit this country today, where will I take them to? I decided to take part of my holiday and I went to Alexandria because it's a place I've been dreaming of visiting. And I was shocked, the things I saw in Egypt. And I'm told everything is tied to, they don't have oil, but everything is literally tied to tourism. I'm asking myself, if somebody came to Nigeria today, where would they go to? Many people go to the White House, people go and see Downing Street, people go to Champs-Élysées, they go to Paris, they can see where the president lives. But even in our own country, in Nigeria, if you wanted to go, you cannot as a tourist go and see you can't go and see the presidential villa as a tourist. There's no way, unless you are hovering over a plane, you could be shot down. Other places you can go and see where president they stay, but in Nigeria you cannot see where president they stay. The point I'm making is that the absence of monuments in our country, because, and I will speak briefly in the text, over the whole question of the creation of myths as the basis for nation building. For example, the Boers who arrived South Africa in 650. One of the things they remember, and they still remember very well, is what they call the Battle of the Blood River, which is a battle in which, according to their own narration, they were able to defeat over 20,000 Zulus. Only 464 white people defeated 20,000 Zulus. Today they have what is called the Voortrekker Monument in KwaZulu-Natal. Locally, I've been to the place. The Americans have a Thanksgiving Day. And Europe celebrates Normandy Day on the 6th of June. The challenge for us is, what do we celebrate? Because almost every year, either they will tell you the celebration of Oktoberfest is low-key or is no-key at all. The point I'm making, therefore, is that somehow something happened or didn't happen. The result is that we need to reload. Why will you reload? You reload because either you fire your shot wrongly, or the object moved, or something has happened. In the Ghanaian system, they have amended their laws. They went through worse things than us. But right now, to be a speaker of the Ghanaian parliament, the speaker is selected is chosen by the president. And it is possible for Bishop Kuka who is a Ghanaian, to become a speaker of the parliament. And once you become speaker of the parliament, you are no longer in a position to hold loyalty to your party. President Jonathan will probably tell his own story about his own experience. I think he told it in Ghana when the speaker defected with 5 members. And our law says that if you defect, you have to write a letter to the speaker who will announce that you have defected. Now the speaker has defected. Who is going to write a letter to whom? So these are the kind of constraints that we need to remove from our system. So whether it is Trump or whoever that has given us this jab, it is time for Nigeria to wake up. Thank you very much.
His Excellency came in while all this was going on. All the way from Abia State. He came in quietly, and we really want to thank you for showing up. I'm talking about His Excellency Alex Otte of Abia State.
I crave your indulgence to stand on the protocol already established. Well, I titled the review, The Essays as Bearer of National Memory, a review of Reuben Abati, 3-part offering. Among top Nigerian editors of the last 3 decades, the mention of the word monumental only signify one individual, Dr. Reuben Abati. It has nothing to do with the topography or archaeology of his native Egbaland, but rather it is an acknowledgement by media contemporaries of Abati's prodigious capacity for both hard work and play. That capacity to engage in scholarly circuits as well as tease flawlessly in street lingo. The facility to deliver a brilliant lecture at short notice and yet never failing to meet editorial deadlines to his primary employer. To multitask as a writer, bibliophile, TV radio anchor, speaker, dramatist, compere, wine connoisseur, and I must not forget to add, a very good lover of beautiful women. And yet, never disappointing in each task or role. If you like, call him a jack of all trades, but he is a master of all. That is why you will hear the shout of Monumenta, Monumenta, when Dr. Abati joins the gathering of his media associates. Well, I just heard that President Tinubu added another today, Ruby. Well, I hope Ashwaju of Africa knows the full implication of that. Only that could explain why Abati, who for instance was heard giving an impeccable summary of the presentation by visiting high-profile guests at the Nightshade Coliseum nightclub by Sunday midnight, as the in-house moderator, would yet be among the first to be seated at the editorial board meeting of The Guardian very early the next Monday morning, back in those days. Let me tell you a story. Sometime in the early 2000s, a senior and much older colleague of Abati, perhaps out of malice or envy or both, sought to bruise Abati's ego at the workplace. The story is told that on that fateful day, to the hearing of not a few people gathered, the big Oga said rather condescendingly, quote, "Everywhere I go, everyone keep asking, where's Reuben Abati? Who is Reuben Abati? They don't know you are nobody here in Guardian."
True friendship, it lasts forever. True friendship, a gift we share together. No matter where you are, we're there together. Sharing moments, happiness is when we are together.
Multina, share happiness.
I was fortunate to have been exposed to his writings as far back as my early sojourn into the world of publishing. I have equally read many of his articles, both published and unpublished, at different times. His characteristics, lucidity, and professionalism in writing then prompted me to go after him. For these three great books, which we are presenting here today, in his belief to give people the opportunity to thrive, he accepted Culture Publications Nigeria Limited, even though we have never met. I quite appreciate his beautiful wife, which is the beauty equally reflects in what we are seeing, because he was the guidance. She was the guidance. She guided and made sure that things came out perfectly. She was a rock to make sure that we succeeded in getting these books here today. What we are presenting here today is just a fraction of many articles in the archives of Dr. Abati. In the process of putting these books together, we took them for various consultants who all applauded the contents for publication. The quality of the text will be a great reference point to policymakers, students, and researchers. Finally, we hope that Dr. Abati's effort will be appreciated by every one of us here and beyond through the purchase of copies. Thank you all for your presence.
The chairman of the occasion, His Excellency Baba Olusegun Obasanjo, our dear father, thank you. Our very senior citizens that are here with us. On behalf of all of us who are standing here, the author and the publisher, we hereby formally present this book for the Nigerian and international public.
20 years ago, when I became the Alake of Egbaland, I promised that I will celebrate every Egba son and daughter wherever they may be, all over the world. Today, I'm very happy to be here for the birthday of a great Egba son, a man of letters. Even though he did not attend my secondary school, he went to an only older in age. My school has produced 2 heads of state in this country. My school has produced so many, the doyen of so many professions. Their school has produced Abba Mieda. That is their school. Now, I want to talk about the celebrant of today, a great man of letters, we didn't know that he's capable of the kind of English that they are fond of in UI. All those big grammar, flabbergasted and all this rubbish. Because it's English in all his newspaper reports and on the television are always simple but elegant English, fantastic way of constructing various sentences. I want to thank him that he has raised once again the level of Egba sons and daughters all over the world. Not just being first in medicine, the first medical hospital in Nigeria, 1895, was built in Abeokuta. Not just in law, the first indigenous chief judge, and so on and so forth, including the newspaper itself, the first newspaper in Nigeria, also in Egbaland, the doyen of accountancy profession. Name anything good in this country, you find an Egba man at the top of it. I congratulate you. And I want to say, the best is yet to come. You ain't seen nothing yet. He's only 60. By the time he's celebrating 70 and 80, maybe he will have become a second Nobel laureate in Africa. I wish you best of everything you wish yourself. And I congratulate the wife also, the great partner that has enabled him to achieve all the things we are celebrating today.
I'm happy to be here today to join my mentor. I call Abati my mentor because we were in the same industry before. Honestly, he has done so many wonderful things personally that I may not want to mention here this afternoon. But honestly, he's an extraordinary human being. He has done wonderfully well in the media profession that I continue to follow him even while I was away in Nigeria, outside Nigeria. So today is to celebrate my dear brother because we are from the same state. I want to celebrate you, Dr. Reuben Abati. You have been wonderful, and that is why your colleagues call you monumental, because nothing compares with you in Nigeria media industry. So congratulations and God bless you.
Today is a special day, first for the birthday of Reuben Abati. You are celebrating your diamond jubilee today and your beautiful wife. So first, happy birthday to my younger brother and good friend, Reuben Abati. And I remember Genesis 6 verse 3 say a man should live 120 years, not the Psalm 90 that talks about risk, cost, and 10. So today that you are celebrating 60, you still have another 60 years to go. And luckily for you, Kike will still be very elegant in the next 60 years. So you will still attract those beautiful love letters. So we wish you well, and we join you to celebrate you at 60. It's a remarkable age to celebrate. And you have achieved significantly from all the testimonies, from those who have made speeches, and I don't want to bore the ears of people by repeating those. And as a person, let me also commend you very significantly. I first met Reuben, I think 2010 or so. That was the beginning of Facebook, when I had a lot of fans that were posted all kinds of things in the Facebook. Then your late friend, Oronto Douglas, compiled all these Facebook postings and say, the friends of Jonathan. And we launched that book in Lagos. And you were invited to come and review the book. And of course, those Facebook posts, very tiny little things. So when you look through, it doesn't really make so much sense. But when Reuben Abati took over the review of that collection, said, this is somebody that has something upstairs. It shows that you are a scholar, brainy, and intelligent person. And no doubt all your colleagues have been pouring encomiums about their contributions to mass communication in Nigeria. We pray that you still continue doing those in the next 60 years before you get to the biblical 120 years. And on the books, we have to thank you for contributing to knowledge. I always like people who write about me because sometimes it's so difficult for you to even write about yourself, because people know you more than you know yourself. When you tend to write about yourself, probably there's this tendency to overpaint yourself in too many bright colors that probably you don't deserve. But when people write about you, it makes more meaning. So I'll be very, very interested to read how Goodluck Jonathan became president from back to back. And I need to do that in the next couple of days. And when you talk about how I became president, the man who made me president is right here. I hope you probably reflected Obasanjo's role. I hope you captured his role as a journalist. You follow up my stories even before you join me in the State House. So I thank you for that. Of course, there were a lot of ups and downs about my political journey. But actually, my political journey looks like a political miracle. From deputy governor to become the president of this country under 4 years was a miracle. It's only God that made it possible. So I have to thank you for documenting it, and I know your scholarly competence. And this will be one of the best collections if somebody wants to read about Jonathan and the State House. I sincerely thank you, and I remain grateful. And let me thank all of you for coming today. I'm not giving vote of thanks. That is Kike's job. But Reuben Abati served with me very well. So it's like a younger brother to me. And I have to appreciate that all of you, especially his king, his traditional rulers and others who are here, my good friend Governor Oti, Binga Daniel, and all others that are here to celebrate him. Father Kuka, Thank you for that Episcopal lecture. In fact, when they were bringing the people to you, I wanted to jump up to go and push them away because we are still enjoying the presentation. I think you'll give me a copy of that speech. There's a lot to learn from it. You're a scholar, and you've done very well. And the book reviewer, thank you for a good job. As you were reviewing the book, I know that you and Abati belong to the same constituency. And that is why you were able to bring out all this in a very simple and clear manner.
Reuben, your hand on the knife. Kike for Wele. President Jonathan, your hand. Kabesi, your hand. Those of you who cannot touch, point your hand at it. Then we will count from 1 to 60. 1. Move now, move close, move close, move close. 10. 30. 40. Bishop, I will get to the kingdom of heaven before you. 59. 60.
I would like to start by thanking President Olusegun Obasanjo for agreeing to be chairman of this occasion. I didn't have too much, I didn't even go through any stress to get him to come. Once I told him, he said, oh, I'll be there, you know, so, and I want to thank him. Now, if you look at the books, the dedication was very deliberate. The book titled Portraits, People, Politics, and Society is dedicated to Dr. Ibe Kachiku. When I was teaching in Ogun State University, I was writing for Hints magazine. And I've seen my editor then, Ikirito Udo. He was my first or second editor, first editor before other editors came. We were writing romance stories. And I was also writing columns for that publication, from Haynes to Hearts and all of that. So but I don't write romance stories anymore. So then after that, before I went to The Guardian, I worked with Alhaji Najim Jimo in a newspaper called The Hammer. I was editorial page editor. But I had been writing as a freelancer for The Guardian. So Dr. Olatunji Dare and all of them, they say, if you are going to leave the university, the only place for you is the editorial board of The Guardian. And that was how I got to The Guardian. And of course, in those days, they used to give you exam. They don't care, even if you were a professor. So I did 3 months test run. I think I got there October. It was only in January, that the Ogas at The Guardian then said, it's good enough to be one of us. So you see that the book also mentions, in terms of dedication, Mr. Alex Ibro, now of blessed memory. Now, President Jonathan has left. Now, when Mr. Alex Ibro was making me deputy chairman, editorial board, his first question was, how old are you? I think at the time I was about 32 or 33 or something. He said, no, you are not too young to be here. In fact, I will even make you chairman if you impress me. Just go and do your work. I'm satisfied with your work. Of course, I ended up, deputy chairman, editorial board, and I became even more notorious around the country. So, The book is also dedicated to Professor Pat Utomi. Professor Pat Utomi, for 10 years, I was on a program called Patito's Gang. At a time when he was going into politics, he just handed over to me and said, okay, be presenting the program while I go and do politics. Some of the gangsters, I've seen one of them here, Tony Nacheta, Uguefi, Tony Nacheta, thank you for coming. And then, of course, after that, after I went to Abuja and came back, I wrote again for The Guardian while resting for some time, and then I ended up on television. And Prince Nduka Obagbena made that possible a second time. And that has become my daily engagement now, apart from writing columns on a weekly basis. So I thank all of them for giving me the platform, for giving me the opportunity to express myself. And I'm really grateful. Now, the book on President Jonathan. Well, by the time you look at it, it's not yet the book. There is a rule that when you serve in government, you are bound not to say what you know for about 10 years. So the 10 years have just passed. So the book on the Jonathan years will still come. But this is just, me warming up by putting together some of my earlier notes. And it's dedicated, of course, to President Jonathan. Because after we left office, there were some issues. The Buhari government was fighting us. And there were people who were saying, look, let's have a committee. Let's fight back. I think after 2 or 3 meetings, President Jonathan called me and said, you people should take it easy. Because after God, it is government. And that's why I wrote in that dedication that, you are right, sir. Indeed, after God, it is government. So if you go and fight government, if government wants to fight you back, they will find something. And then, of course, the other book, A Love Letter, is dedicated to all my teachers, living and dead. Because I'm a product of the diligence of those who taught me. Including those who taught me all the good things and the bad things. One of them, Femi Awoyemi, he just looking at me. I learned rascality from him. So that is the basic story behind those 3 books. And then, of course, I'm just overwhelmed that we could feed this all and that the attendance has been remarkable. Prince Obagbena says he's having a party this evening, this afternoon, some parties, tomorrow another party, in Abeokuta on Sunday. My brothers and cousins, they say they are having another party. I hope I'll be strong enough to be in front of television.
A big round of applause for Reuben, or else he will go on and on and on and on. Let's clap for him.